Do you know how to simplify a radical expression? Well, first, what do we mean when we talk about a radical? A radical is a mathematical expression involving a root, and the root is represented by means of a radical sign. When we see this, we know that we're looking for the root of a number, and in this case it's a square root, and we are using a radical sign to show that. Now we can simplify radical expressions. But first, write this down in your notebook. You can also write different examples. So we could have something that looked like this. We could have something that looked like this. Or we could have something that looked like this. All of these are radical expressions, and we can simplify them or evaluate them. Let's look at an example. What is the square root of 25? This is a very simple radical expression. And to figure it out, we can think what number times what number gives us 25. And we know our answer is 5, because 5 squared is equal to 25. You could say that these two processes are inverses of each other. And our work with exponents, we worked this way. With our work with square root or with radical expressions, we're going to work this way. So we could say again the square root of 36 is equal to 6 because 6 squared is equal to 36. Now, what happens when you have a radical expression that's a little more complicated than just a square root? Let's take a look at an example. Evaluate this radical expression. We have a 3 over here. We know that when we're talking about a 3 as an exponent, it's called cubing. So if we had 4 and a 3, we would say 4 to the third, or 4 cubed. And our answer would be 4 times 4 times 4. We could evaluate this and end up with our final response, which in this case is 64. Now here, in this example, we want to find the cubed root of 125. So we want to find what number times itself 3 times is going to be equal to 125. Yes, you could say we are working backwards. We're working backwards from when we were working with exponents. Now we're simplifying radical expressions. Now that you understand it a little bit more, what is the cubed root of 125? 5 times 5 times 5 is equal to 125. So we can say that the cubed root of 125 is 5. This is our answer. What's the fourth root of negative 16? This one's a little bit tricky. Because we have a negative inside this radical, you know that any number times itself is going to give us a positive number. So whenever you have a negative number inside a radical, that's impossible to solve. We say it is undefined because we can't find an accurate answer for this problem. However, if we had the fourth root of 16, we could say that that is 2, because 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 gives us 16. Let's look at one more. What is the fourth root of 9 squared? Well, before we find the fourth root of the problem of the number inside the radical, let's figure this part out first. 9 squared is 81. So we can say we're looking for the fourth root of 81. And if you think about that, 3 times 3 times 3 times 3 is equal to 81. So the fourth root of 9 squared is actually 3. This is our final answer, and our work is complete.